आपका आज की वीडियो में
स्वागत है।
और आज जो वीडियो हम देखने जा रहे हैं इसकी हमें सजेशन बहुत ज्यादा मिली है और इसीलिए अब हम देखने जा रहे हैं। इससे पहले भी हम लोगों ने सर राधा कृष्ण पिल्लाई जी का एक पॉडकास्ट देखा है रणवीर शो में, और आज हम क्या देखने जा रहे हैं वो हम लोग पूछेंगे मौसम से।
टाइटल है इंडिया 2025 करंट अफेयर्स, जियोपॉलिटिक्स एंड इकोनॉमी। बाकी जो है मानदी ने बता दिया है कि डॉक्टर राधा कृष्ण जी जो हैं उनके जो है जुबानी हम सुनेंगे चीजें।
बिल्कुल, तो चलिए देख लेते हैं ये वीडियो। लेकिन इससे पहले
इस वीडियो के चैनल का ओरिजिनल लिंक आपको हमारे वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन में मिल जाएगा। सब्सक्राइब करें, लाइक करें, शेयर करें, फॉलो करें इनके चैनल को। उसके अलावा हमारे ब्लॉगिंग चैनल का लिंक, इंस्टाग्राम का लिंक भी हमारी वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन में मिल जाएगा। सब्सक्राइब करें, लाइक करें, शेयर करें, फॉलो करें।
चलिए देख लेते हैं ये वीडियो।
Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai has been on this show multiple times, but we've always only spoken about self-improvement. People know that he's the man behind countless bestsellers. People know that he's one of the premier intellectuals and corporate speakers in this country. What people don't know about Dr. Radha is that he's a consultant for the Indian military, the Indian government, the Indian bureaucracy, and countless Indian politicians. That's how much respect that this man commands in the cream layers of Indian society. Therefore, I thought it's appropriate to do our first current affairs based podcast with him. 2022 is where the Ranveer show reinvents itself. You're going to see a ton of changes on the show. Everything from the logo to the flavor to the music. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, for more enriching TRS episodes, follow us on Spotify. We're a Spotify exclusive, which means that every episode's available on Spotify 48 hours before it's available anywhere else in the world. 2022 has just begun, and I promise you, you're going to feel the nature of the podcast changing up completely. This is TRS. Keep supporting. But for now, enjoy Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, my mentor, like never before on The Ranveer Show. Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, sir, this is our first recording of 2022. Welcome to the show once again.
Happy New Year to each one of you.
Happy New Year, sir. This year, my personal content shift is little more talk about current affairs. That's why let's dive straight in, sir. What's been exciting you and what's been sort of deflating you about India lately?
India is already in the power game. Unfortunately, we think like followers rather than leaders. So I believe our time has come. We need to get into that space of leading the world in the right way. And for me, most important, the spiritual way.
And what has been exciting you?
We are a lucky generation. We
Okay.
don't have to worry about the basics, roti, kapda, makan, bijli, sadak, pani. I'm not saying that we are done yet. That's not our major focus anymore. I think we have proved it. So many years, 75 years of struggle. I think next 25 years will be very amazing at the international space. Geopolitics, international relations is going to be very important for our country. Two reasons for this. The people in the country, geographically who are still Indians, have a major role to play. But secondly, the geopolitics starts with the Indian diaspora as well. The people who have migrated out of India, settled abroad, but still they have the Indianness in them. So I think it's going to be a great combination over the next 25 years where the people in India and the Indians out of India will be working together
Right.
to bring back something greater than we have ever seen.
Yeah.
That's for me.
I think we will keep addressing that brain drain problem, but in truth, the solution to it is what you're saying. That people who want to live there will always live there because that's human choice, human free will.
yes.
And the best way to do it is you sit there, you sit in America, you sit in Europe, you work with the locals there, but also do something for your country. And because of this whole COVID situation, work from home has started. Therefore, anyone here can work for anyone, then you can really build out international businesses.
Absolutely.
Sir, but I mean, I don't know if the audiences know this. I know this because I speak to you a lot offline as well. You work a lot with our government. You work with the military. You're sort of a consultant for both of them. I know a lot of almost confidential stuff, maybe one level less than confidential stuff, which I don't even know if you can reveal online, sir. But out of the things you can reveal, what would you like to tell audiences? You know, if there are any specifics you can share about, okay, this is how the military is thinking, this is how the government's thinking. What is the leadership at the top thinking about the country?
So first of all, thank you so much. Offline discussion to online discussions. So I don't think it's confidential, but it's also sensitive. So what I would always say, my friends tell this very often, that Radha, your life is an open book. So I don't keep any secrets. Yet we require maturity to understand the space I am in. I work not only with the government, but various parts of the government. So let me put it this way. So I'm already part of academia. So Mumbai University, I'm a director over there of the Chanakya International Institute of Leadership Studies. So that's one part of the government. The second, as you rightly mentioned, I do work with the armed forces. Now when you say armed forces, the first impression people have is about the Jawan who is fighting the Kargil war and, across the China border and the Pakistan border. Yeah, that's one space, but there is an intellectual space within the armed forces also. So, I do train at the National Defense College, I do train at the College of Defense Management, and all these are public information. It's not like, but at the same time, what's very important to know that, military is going to play a very important role. Third is bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is very important because I believe that the strength of India is actually the bureaucrats. So they're highly qualified, they go through an entrance test, they are very well read, they're globally, I would say competitive in their own space. And the fourth, of course, my favorite is politicians. I do work with a lot of politicians, help them out with plans. Now, that's very important. All this because of Chanakya. Because Chanakya was guiding the government and he were guiding the Rajas. So I've been very fortunate that all these things are there in my part of life also, where I'm working with all these segments, academia, military, bureaucracy, politicians, etc. Coming back to what I would like to say, especially since our audience is youth, please get interested in political science, public policy, international relationship, geopolitics. The time has come for India not to worry about what's going to be my career. Now it's going to be whether you're contributing to India at the global level. It's a very important space. And unfortunately, previous thought process was all these issues, public policy, international relations, was limited to some diplomats and ambassadors out over there. But with the internet boom and the digital space that we are in, I think everybody is a soldier out over there. So we have cyber soldiers out over here. We have soldiers who may not be only across the border, but who are fighting cyber crimes, right from, internet hacking. So I would say that my request to all of you is that please get interested in the policy level making. You don't have to be a policy maker, but there are so many courses out over there. So coming back, any questions you want to answer specifically, I'll be there. But my request is that today the Raja Vidya, the knowledge for the kings, is open to everyone. It has become Praja Vidya. So don't think that, there's a barrier out over there. Oh, he's top and I'm the common man. The power of the common man is actually the power of the king. And because
of the internet.
Absolutely. So become a king even if you're a common man.
I have so many tangential questions, sir. Let's start with the 4 wings that you named, bureaucracy, education, politicians, and the government in general.
Yes.
Why don't you break all 4 down? If you can give an example, nothing like it, you know. But in what way do they consult you, and how do leaders there think? Because I'm assuming that, see, if you are, say, the chief of military, you have to think of, okay, how do we protect India against China now?
Yeah.
Because that's the looming threat everyone knows about.
Sure.
I would also like to know, what is the top layer of the bureaucracy thinking? What is the top layer of academia thinking? What is the top layer of the government in general thinking? What's happening there?
I think that's a nice question. I like to break them into 4 parts, as you rightly pointed out. The first part is academia. Now, I'm not only talking about the university academia. So academia is actually the intellectual part of our community. Okay, they do the policy making, they do think tanks, and being part of the Mumbai University, I've been very fortunate that, I was instrumental in conducting the first International Yoga Day in US. So we had an international conference. So I have a perspective what happens today at the power level in the academia. So if you look at it today, we have a concept called as soft power. So hard power is where the military comes in, the strategy part of it comes in, but we are moving into soft power. Yoga, India's soft power, Bollywood being a soft power, and various other things.
Cultural exports.
Exactly. Even Ayurveda is a soft power. But we are moving from soft power to what is called as the smart power. So in the academia, what generally happens is that we make policies, structures, schemes for the government. Let me give you a simple example.
What does policy even mean? Like when you say, okay, you're making policies, what does it actually mean?
Okay. So a policy from a corporate angle is about, how do you turn around your company probably in the pandemic era. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about public policy. So governments sit down and make plans which are important for the society. For example, we are in Mumbai. Okay, now what is a very important part of Mumbai right now? So the state government or the municipal corporation of Mumbai will sit down and say, okay, we need to have metros. And you can see all over the metros happening. Now that's a policy that has been set by the government after a lot of brainstorming. Now, how does a policy get formed? And I would suggest all of you to even think about doing a small course on public policy. It's very much available, and a short course on internet. So many edutech companies are offering. So a public policy is a plan which is generally made by the top guys sitting over there, the bureaucrats, but they don't make it alone. They invite ideas from the public, and you can participate in public policy. So on the academia side, I've been involved in so many committees where we sit down and think about it. Like, I'll give you a simple example. There was this particular idea that we should introduce leadership as a subject in our country. You rightly pointed out that brain drain. What happened in the brain drain era is the best of the minds from India went abroad. And I would say, in a way, it was good in the long term if you look at it, because the guys who left India are still contributing to India. So if you look at the Twitters and the IBMs and the Microsoft and the Googles, all of them studied here. But there was this thought process that came in our university and saying that, are we going to take it to the next level? What does our generation require? So it's okay, let us move from management to leadership, which is one step above. So we formulated the first ever institution in Mumbai University called the Chanakya International Institute of Leadership Studies. So we actually do a 2 years master's program on leadership. We offer PhD in leadership. Now, how did this happen? So it was an idea, of course, with the vice chancellor and all the academia came together, brainstorm on it. There's a process to it. It is not an idea. Please understand, idea to a plan is business. Idea to a business plan is what we generally talk in the corporate world, in the startup world. But we are talking about a public policy where an idea has to go through a process where in the academia we go through what is called as the board of studies, BOS. Typically, when you have to introduce a syllabus, you can't do it alone. Okay, so there is a group of 5 to 7 people who come down, brainstorm what are the subjects to be taught. Then it has to be approved by a higher authority called as the academic council. Again, it has to be approved by something called as a management council. Then it's approved by the chancellor. So if you look at the process, but after that hard work is done, then it becomes a part of the bigger game. So I just give an example of how a public policy becomes a kind of a system in the academia, which I spoke about leadership. Now let me shift it to bureaucracy. In bureaucracy, the typical word means those people who run the government machinery. So the easiest word to associate with bureaucracy is the civil servants or civil services. And there are many of them, highest is IFS, Indian Foreign Service, IPS, Indian Police Service. We had Shivanandan sir on the podcast. Then we have IAS, Indian Administrative Service, Indian Forest Service. So there are many of them. Now what generally happens is that the government is run through a machinery. Okay, so there are people who run the whole show. So if you look at today, we are sitting again in Mumbai, the municipal corporation. Now there is some machinery which runs it. So let's say the commissioner of Mumbai Municipal Corporation. Now he is a trained bureaucrat. He knows the whole systems, the process, he studied the rules. So in India, how do you become a bureaucrat? The first question. And the second is, what does a bureaucrat do? So today there are open competitive exams. So if you want to become a collector or this general dreams people have in the tier 2 cities, I would say even villages, the biggest thing is to become a collector, because that was a system started by the Britishers. So the government will select a few group of people through a competitive exam process. So there are so many exams that's happening, you crack them. And then you're trained in the government administrative system. So let's say you go through 2 years of rigorous training and things like that. And after that, you would be put into certain, states. For example, IAS officer or an IPS officer. So Indian Administrative Service or Indian Police Service. After the 2 years training program is over, they would generally choose which state they want to work in. So Shivanandan sir, giving the example, was actually from Tamil Nadu. Okay, born, brought up over there. But later on, he cracked the exam, and after his IPS training, he was asked, which state would you like to serve? So of course, he chose Maharashtra. He comes to Maharashtra, and then the whole 30 years that he worked in various postings in Maharashtra. Of course, from time to time, they go to deputations outside the state and maybe outside the country also. So the bureaucracy generally functions to understand how the state is run. So if you look at civics and politics as a subject, they're the execution body. Okay, so today look at everything that's getting executed. There will be a bureaucrat both at the state and the central level. So that's the whole machinery that works. And believe me, it's a system with a lot of power. Okay, so a collector sometimes also is also a district magistrate. He can take, you can take legal decisions. So that's a power that you get. Coming back to what is the role of a bureaucrat? The role of a bureaucrat is to execute the kind of a decisions that are taken at the state level, which the politicians generally do, So they will have an idea. From a bill, it becomes an act. I want to simplify it. Let's say, okay, again, the government decides, like we have to have, national highways. So that's what Nitin Gadkari ji is currently doing as a head of all the highways that move. Now, who executes it? The politicians are representatives of people in democracy. So they get selected, they'll debate and discuss in the parliament, and afterwards they say, okay, done. But karega kaun? So these bureaucrats come into it and they're very intellectual. They have budgets with them, they have the plans with them, they have a complete machinery with them, they have power with them. And believe me, if you have a good bureaucrat, he can turn around a whole city or a village for that particular matter. So coming back, I do work with the bureaucrats in giving some inputs, and I've been fortunate that many bureaucrats do call me and saying that, oh, we have a small project, so Radha sir, can you handle it? So I'll give you one simple example. When the government decided that, we need to take International Yoga Day really big, okay, now that's a statement, okay, but how do you do it? So I remember 2016, one of the ministers right over Delhi, Rajya Sabha minister, he just called me up and said, we know you can do it because you're already part of academia. So, okay, can you handle this particular program? I said, okay, so what's the program? I have no idea. So don't worry, you'll get a call. So I got a call from an IAS officer. Okay, very sweet person, and saying that, Radha sir, we have this particular project by the government. We have the funds, we have the budgets, but we need to actually do yoga in a very big way. So let's start with India and we'll take it global. I said, okay, so I don't understand it. But okay, but they said, Radha sir, we understand what you can deliver. I said, okay, let's have a meeting. So I flew to Chandigarh at that particular time and with my PhD guy, Dr. Shubhada Joshi. And so we went over there and said, listen, here is a project by the government of India that we need to make International Yoga Day really big. Thanks to our Prime Minister, it was already cleared at the international level where United Nations accepted International Yoga Day as a formal day to be celebrated globally. But that's not enough. What do you do? So 2016, Chandigarh was the place from where we actually launched the International Yoga Day. So I had the power, a temporary power, to actually hold the whole conference. So I took around 60 people from Mumbai University and of course Chandigarh. We had 3-day major international conference where we had Baba Ramdev and all the yoga gurus coming over there. I was instrumental in designing the program. When I say I mean with the whole team of the government machinery. And it was amazing. And I can tell you a small instant of my first, I would say, rubbing with power. So since I was in charge, we had 2-3 IAS officers over there. And I could see that one person who was a vendor, he was actually misusing the public funds. Okay, so he was supposed to make some videos and things like that because we wanted to use it in a digital format and all. And I could sense that, he's not delivering. He's trying to take money from the government. Okay. And now, remember, I'm a semi-bureaucrat. So I can't let my public funds go. And I remember telling one of these IAS officers saying that, I think this guy is something fishy. So now I'm on the side of the government. I'm not on a public side. And you'd be surprised. Okay. Next day, he just came and told me and saying that he's been arrested. I said, what? So you are in charge of the conference. We just checked it and it was true. So he was misusing the power. And I said, oh my goodness. I said, wait. I just told that, he's doing something fishy. Yeah, you have the power. Your word is last. I said, okay, thank you. I just settled down. And I told my team also, saying that, listen, this is temporary. So a statement in the government is not a statement. Your wish is my command. So think about which level execution at the bureaucratic level can do. Of course, the good news is that, don't worry about it. He came out of it and all those things. The money was recovered. But that is the first time I realized what the government can do. Unfortunately, our first impression of the government is corruption. But there are so many people who are uncorrupt working for the public funds as well. And they're doing it in the right way. So that's bureaucracy on the other side, where execution is like done. So 3 days of international conference, and we had the best of best, and thanks to of course I got some award from the governor and all those things. Second important thing, because it was delivered very well, okay, because let me tell you something, my dear friends, government also want good people to work with them. Who doesn't want good people, right? So I forgot and I said, okay, move on. But immediately after, I got a call again from the same minister in the parliament and saying that now let's do it international. I said, what do you mean by international? Okay, India ho gaya, ab New York mein karte hain. And you'd be surprised, again I was given the power. Remember this, power is for service. Power should not be used for your benefit. So International Yoga Day, we did in New York a year after that, and it was such a successful conference that I took around 60 people from India. Again, government budgets, public funds. Believe me, it was one of the most successful academic conference happening right there in New York. We are hosted by the Consulate General. I can still feel the power right now, because when we landed up in New York, okay, think about this, friends. The actual people, the government representatives, the diplomats in US representing our country, came and received us inside the plane. Now, what does it mean? Don't think that it's about me. We are representing a government, and half of our academicians who went over there had what we call it as official passport. What is an official passport? Most of the Indians will have what we call it as a blue passport. But the blue passport is like a normal citizen, but there are different levels of passport also. So many of us actually carried what is called a white passport. So you are representing the government of India. Okay. And of course, you have to be very careful about it, because you should never misuse the power. At the same time, you're also representing a culture, a civilization, a country. We did it, we came back, and of course the passport is taken away, okay? That's temporary. Wow. So what generally happens is that we're representing a country, whether it's a diplomat or an ambassador, or even if you are on a certain government assignments, the government gives you the power to handle those responsibilities. And remember this, once the responsibilities are over, you need to surrender your power also. So one thing I learned being in the government is that, you will get the certain power, but remember, you're in a mission mode. The day the mission is over, you should be a common man again. The third part is, of course, the armed forces, the military part of it. It's a huge machinery. I'm still learning, but I do teach Kautilya Arthashastra to the leadership team in the armed forces. I'm still a student, but I'm teaching them.
What does that entail?
So, Arthashastra of Kautilya, okay, which my area of specialization is Chanakya's wisdom, talks about a lot of military strategies. And it's the geopolitical ideas like Mandala theory, Samadhana Dandabheda. So unfortunately, we Indians have to awaken to our own knowledge. So I'm being a small role in playing that, awakening the armed forces and saying, listen, this is our knowledge, why don't you apply it? So that's happening.
Yeah, I've heard that Chanakya's teachings are so kind of renowned all over the world that other countries also use it in their military training.
Yes.
But the Indian military also does.
Yes.
Has it always used it?
So I would say that India always used it, but post-British era, it's more about what's happening in the Western world. I'm not saying that we should not be aware of what's happening abroad. We need to get the best of the weapons, the missiles, everything is fine. Yet, that's a very famous statement. The man behind the machine is more important than the machine. So at the strategy level, at the thinking level, are you having an Indian strategies? So fortunately, we have a lot of wisdom in our own ancient Indian script about how to handle war and conflicts. So, I'm teaching that.
Wow. And what about the fourth one, which is politicians?
I love them.
Yeah. The assumption of a lot of listeners here now is, so Radha has worked with corrupt people. Like that's the first inclination. But what's it actually like working with politicians?
Yes. So fortunately, not a single politician that I have come across has made me part of their corruption. So, the respect that I get from my politicians is amazing. So, be it member of parliaments, or I had an opportunity of even meeting Prime Minister himself. I've been very fortunate that, there's a lot of respect that I have gained because of Chanakya in the space of politicians also. So let me tell you first things first. Let's get it right that politicians are representative of people. We elect them, we select them, we send them over there. Now coming back to the corruption part of it, let us be very clear on this particular part. In every particular field, okay, there are good people and bad people. Good doctors, bad doctors, good lawyers, bad lawyers, good teachers, bad teachers. Tell me a field where you don't have both sides of the coin. Coming back to politicians, I tell you that, there are very, very good politicians also. I've seen member of parliaments who walked out of the parliament after their term was over. And believe me, they didn't have 5 rupees in their particular pockets. I've seen them, they hosted me. Yet, the power is that they could announce and 5 lakh people can gather together. They did not have paisa. I've seen this, So I've seen there is this kind of a politician. Now, if you go to Delhi, and I suggest all the youth to please go to Delhi, just walk around Delhi and seeing that, they are representative of us. So we have, let's say, an MP, member of parliament coming from maybe South Mumbai, which is one of the richest parts of the country. And we have an MP coming from a small state. And I know when I take my students to Delhi on a parliament visit, and we take a lot of my students from Mumbai University over there, you'd be surprised. These politicians invite us, saying that hamare ghar pe aao. Of course, the properties, the government, when they are the representatives. So I still remember this day when we had visited 4 MPs in their houses. 4 MPs, okay, 4 different states, 4 different places they came from. So at the first place that we went, it was like a very normal, sabko chai nashta ho raha. The second place we went, believe me, that politician was so poor that literally samosa ke liye bhi usko sponsor dhundna pada. The third politician, of course, was our local politicians. Chalo sabko gift de rahe and all those things. But the fourth politician who hosted us for dinner was like a royal person. It was like, wow, it was not 5-star, it was 7-star. So when I come back and saying that, it's a mix of politicians, we can't brand them as one type because everybody comes from different parts of our country. Everybody comes from different economic standards. But I can tell you one thing. All politicians work very, very, very hard. It's a public life 24/7. Believe me, it's very hard.
I think Nitin Gadkari had this one video where he said that find me one politician who's happy and I'll give you whatever you want. Is that true?
Again, happiness for me is an internal journey. So you can never be happy if you look at external public appreciation because politicians have come to the fact that it's a thankless job. Okay, but let me also tell you, Chanakya spoke about Raja Rishi. Raja hai, politician hai, he's in power, but he has to be Rishi. So yes, I appreciate Nitin Gadkari ji because public don't appreciate. It's always like looking at the darker side. They forget the kind of a commitment that they have. They work very hard. And believe me, I have a lot of respect for politicians.
I think you have the right to say that because you worked with them,
Yes.
Manohar. That's the next question actually. What work do you do with politicians specifically?
Yeah.
Like I got the other 3, but with them, is it like for their campaigns, for their agenda? Like why do they consult with you?
Okay, that's a very important question. Remember one thing, politicians don't have time to think.
Oh, okay.
There's so much activity. I mean, when you do so many videos again and again, there's a time that you require for a break to think out and strategize. Imagine a politician. So I can tell people 7 o'clock in the morning, the people are inside their house. And that's gone till 2 or 3 in the night. Now tell me one thing, such a public life, and you're meeting a corporate leader to a person who is a woman activist to somebody who is, so you meet every type of people, a politician's life is very hard. So what unfortunately happens with politicians, they don't have time to sit down, think, analyze. And that's where actually the bureaucrats come in. So, they are the one who will think and make a plan.
I'd actually like to ask you again about these 4
things.
departments.
Yeah.
So, what are the 4 departments thinking of about the 2020s? Like, what should people know?
Okay, so 2020, let's take academia again. Very important part of the society. It definitely gone into a hybrid model.
Okay.
Okay, so education, academia, initially it was physical, now it's digital, be it school level or college or university level. I think with the things happening, so it's a double kind of a thing happening.
Yeah, and epidemiologists are saying that COVID situations are going to happen every year for the next
Every
10
year.
years. Some sort of COVID situation.
Absolutely. So we're getting prepared, and let me tell you, if doctors, I respect them a lot, saved human beings, teachers saved a generation.
जियोपॉलिटिक्स की अगर बात की जाए तो वो आज से नहीं बल्कि जब से दुनिया मेरा ख्याल है बनी है तब से ही एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर रही है हुकूमतों के निज़ाम में।
वेल मैं कहूँगी कि आज के टॉपिक को जिस तरीके से स्टेप बाय स्टेप सर राधा जो हैं वो समझा रहे हैं, जैसे कि जो बेसिक 4 पिलर्स हैं कि जिससे एक कंट्री जो है आप अच्छे से रन कर सकते हैं, गवर्नमेंट चलती है, वो सारी चीजें इसमें डिस्कस की गई और समहाउ मेरे लिए बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग था क्योंकि बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें जैसे ब्यूरोक्रेसी की बात करें तो मेरे लिए थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट होता था ये चीज समझना कि वो इतनी पावरफुल क्यों होती है या उसका क्या रोल होता है एक कंट्री को चलाने में। बट एक चीज जो मैं कहूंगी कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, सब चीजें एक साइड पर, लेकिन जो एजुकेशन है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। इस वीडियो में भी अगर हम लोग क्रक्स निकालें तो मुझे लगता है कि जो एजुकेशन है वो ही आपको किसी भी सेक्टर में आगे लेकर जाती है। आप कोई भी मतलब इदारा उठाकर देख लें, ब्यूरोक्रेट जो हैं अगर वो अच्छे हैं, पढ़े लिखे हैं, इंटेलेक्चुअल हैं, तो डेफिनेटली उनके जो डिसीजंस हैं वो भी उसके मुताबिक ही होंगे और वो उसका पॉजिटिव असर आपको फिर गवर्नमेंट पर और पॉलिसीज पर और आपका जो प्रॉस्पेरिटी है उसकी सूरत में नजर आएगा।
यार देखें, आप जितने ऊंचे ओहदे पे बैठे होते हैं ना, उसके नीचे अगर आप देखें ना तो वो कांटे भी उतने ज्यादा ही होते हैं, आपको चीजें भी उतनी ज्यादा ही फेस करनी पड़ती हैं। हम वाकई अगर बात करें, हम चीजों पे तो बहुत जल्दी एक क्वेश्चन मार्क लगा देते हैं, लेकिन उस क्वेश्चन मार्क के पीछे कितनी एफर्ट्स होती हैं, कितनी जो है सीक्रेट्स होते हैं जो हम तक नहीं पहुंचते, उन्हें हम नहीं देखते। अगर एक ब्यूरोक्रेट की बात करें, नो डाउट एजुकेशन का होना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है। अगर आप ये कहें कि फलाने को उठा के लगा दिया, फलाने को भर्ती कर दिया, तो इस तरह चीजें नहीं चलती। एक ब्यूरोक्रेट जो होता है उसके कंधों पे बहुत सारी जिम्मेदारियां होती हैं, बहुत सारी चीजों को उसे देखना पड़ता है। नेशनली इंटरनेशनली जितने चैलेंजेस होती हैं उसको जो है एक वो अलाइन करना होता है उस बंदे ने। इनके अकेला एक बंदा तो नहीं होता, उनकी भी एक पूरी टीम ही होती है। लेकिन नो डाउट उनकी पॉलिसीज बनाने में, उस चीजों को हैंडल करने में, मुल्क को चलाने में पॉलिटिशियंस, मिलिट्री के साथ साथ ब्यूरोक्रेसी भी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करती है।
बिल्कुल। और इसके बाद मैं बात करना चाहूंगी एक लाइन जो मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी और बहुत अच्छा लगा सुनकर, क्योंकि अनफॉर्चुनेटली पाकिस्तान अभी भी उसी कैटेगरी में फॉल करता है जहां पर आपको रोटी, कपड़ा, मकान और इन्हीं झंझटों में आप अभी भी पड़े हुए हो। लेकिन जैसे राधा सर ने बात की कि अभी जो है इंडिया इस चीज से आगे बढ़ चुका हुआ है। अब अगर हम देखें तो प्रोग्रेस कैसे करनी है, इंटरनेशनली आपको कैसे compete करना है, अभी इंडिया उस साइड पर बढ़ रहा है। तो मुझे लगता है कि एक चीज बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट होती है सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन। जब हम कहते हैं ना कि हमें खुद को रियलाइज हो जाता है ना कि हमारी पावर क्या है और हम क्या कर सकते हैं, तो मुझे लगता है तब ना आपका रास्ता बड़ा क्लियर हो जाता है और आपके गोल सेट हो जाते हैं लाइफ में। और जैसे एक टर्म यूज की जाती है ब्रेन ड्रेन, जो मतलब यूजली हम लोग वीडियोस में सुनते भी हैं। तो यहाँ पर अगर देखें तो नो डाउट जो वेस्ट है उसको फायदा भी बहुत ज्यादा होता है, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ जो इसमें डिस्कस किया हुआ, हम लोग हमेशा ये बात करते हैं कि ये चीज का भी फायदा होता है कि यहाँ से जब लोग जाते हैं वहां पर सीखते हैं तो वो कुछ अपनी कंट्री को भी वापस आकर सर्व करते हैं, वहां पर बैठ के भी सर्व करते हैं। ऐसा नहीं होता कि अगर कोई किसी भी पोजीशन में है तो वो अपनी कंट्री को पीछे कुछ सर्व नहीं कर रहा, वो किसी ना किसी सूरत में कुछ ना कुछ आपको डिलीवर करता ही है। फिर उसके बाद देखें अपॉर्चुनिटीज के, आपकी कंट्री में जब अपॉर्चुनिटीज बनती हैं तो बहुत सारी जो यूथ है वो ही मतलब बाहर जाने की बजाय आपकी खुद की कंट्री में स्टार्टअप्स जो है उनके करना शुरू हो जाती है। तो आई थिंक बहुत सारे ऐसे फैक्टर्स होते हैं जो बाय द टाइम उसमें स्ट्रगल तो बहुत ज्यादा होती है। हम लोग अगर आज के टाइम देखें कि इंडिया आगे बढ़ रहा है तो उसकी अचीवमेंट पे लोगों की नजर भी है, लेकिन ये कि वो इतना आसान प्रोसेस नहीं है, उसमें बहुत सारे लोगों की मेहनत शामिल है, तब जाकर वो कहीं पर इतना ज्यादा
यार देखें सबसे बेसिक चीज फिर वही आ जाती है एजुकेशन। अगर इंडिया की बात करें, इंडिया ने 80s 90s में जो है जो एक बीज बोया था ना एजुकेशन का, वो एक टाइम पीरियड के बाद वो काफी अब कह लेंगे एक पेड़ बन चुका है। ठीक है, अगर इंडिया की स्टेट जो है डिफरेंट स्टेट्स की बात की जाए, वहां पे लिटरेसी रेट देखा जाए तो बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा है। वहां पर जो पॉलिसीज बनती हैं उनमें अभी ये जैसे बात की गई है कि डिफरेंट पब्लिक ओपिनियंस को भी जो है वो डिस्कस किया जाता है, लोगों की ओपिनियंस ली जाती हैं तो उनके ऊपर भी डिस्कशन की जाती है। तो ये चीज जो है बहुत ज्यादा मैटर करती है कि आप अपने वहां पे रहने वाले लोगों को कितना जो है वो एक तरह का रिस्पेक्ट दे रहे हैं उनकी ओपिनियन को, आप उनकी ओपिनियन को जो है एक मायने दे रहे हैं। ऑन द अदर साइड जब हम देखते हैं बहुत सारी जगहों पर ऐसे भी होता है कि भाई पॉलिसीज बनाकर थोप दी जाती हैं कि भाई बस ये है, आपने ये करना है, पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट को नहीं देखा जाता। लेकिन नो डाउट जब पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट को देखा जाता है तो आपकी जो चीजें हैं वो बहुत बेहतर तरीके से चलती है, क्योंकि उसमें जो है पब्लिक को भी बहुत ज्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलती है। अब जैसे एजुकेशन की बात करें, एजुकेशन आप हासिल करते हैं, उसके बाद आप आगे जो है डिफरेंट लाइंस में जब जाते हैं आपको सीखने को मिलता है। आप उस पर जो है एक टाइम आता है जब आप बिल्कुल मेच्योर हो जाते हैं। आप फिर स्टार्टअप की बात कर लें, आप वो अपने मुल्क में स्टार्ट करते हैं, अपने घर में स्टार्ट करते हैं, जिसका फायदा खाली एक बंदे को नहीं, वहां पे बहुत सारे लोगों को होता है।
अच्छा, यहाँ पर मैं बात करना चाहूंगी मौसम की कि जहां से मौसम स्टार्ट किया है, मुझे ये नहीं पता कि इंडिया में ये वाला रेवोल्यूशन कब से आया, यानी कि अगर एकेडमिक्स की बात करूं
90s से।
हाँ, कि कब इम्प्रूवमेंट या पहले क्या सिस्टम होता था, मुझे बिल्कुल आइडिया नहीं है। बट हाँ, मैंने हमारी बुक्स में ये जरूर पढ़ा है कि 1947 से पहले कोई खास मुस्लिम्स का रुझान नहीं था पढ़ाई लिखाई में। और स्टिल मैं अभी भी देखूं ना, तो मैं मेजॉरिटी की बात करूंगी कि उस तरीके से मुझे इनका एक इंटरेस्ट लेवल नजर नहीं आता एक यूथ की मैं अगर बात करूं। और द अदर साइड जब हम लोग इंडियंस को देखते हैं, उनको लाइक जियो पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में बहुत नॉलेज है, किस तरीके से आपके इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस होने चाहिए डिफरेंट कंट्रीज के साथ, इकोनॉमी की बात करें, स्टार्टअप्स की बात करें, बिजनेस सब चीजों की बात करें, तो लोगों का काफी ज्यादा एक इंटरेस्ट रहता है। तो मुझे लगता है ये एक बड़ी एक मतलब आपको चीज जो है एक साइड पर आपको बढ़तरी एक लेकर जाती है कि आपका एक प्रोसेस कब से स्टार्ट हुआ है। मौसम वाली बात से मैं बिल्कुल अग्री करूंगी, जब आप एक बीज बोते हो तो धीरे धीरे फिर जब वो पेड़ बन जाता है तो आप फिर उसका फल खाना शुरू होते हो। जिस तरीके से सर राधे ने बोला कि आने वाले 20-25 ईयर्स इंडिया के लिए बहुत अच्छे हैं, यानी कि वो और ज्यादा इस चीज में अपना एक हम कहेंगे कि दुनिया में काफी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करने वाला है। और उसके साथ साथ जो थिंक टैंक्स होते हैं, मुझे लगता है वो भी बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं आपकी। इवन कि हम लोगों ने लास्ट टाइम पर जो वीडियो देखी थी, आई फॉरगॉट द नंबर, लेकिन ये कि हम लोगों को आई थिंक अक्षय ने शायद या तो उन्होंने कमेंट सेक्शन में लिखा था या फिर उन्होंने ईमेल में लिखा था कि काफी एग्जैक्ट नंबर्स लिखे थे कि इंडियंस कितने थिंक टैंक्स हैं। तो ये चीजें जो है बहुत सारे लोग जो है मिलकर, जब वो कहते हैं ना कि जब सही लोग मिलना शुरू हो जाते हैं ना, तो चीजें जो उनकी ना वो सही होना शुरू हो जाती हैं। और इसके साथ साथ मुझे एक और चीज बहुत अच्छी लगी राधे सर की, और वो ये कि जब वो योगा वाली बात कर रहे थे, ठीक है, और उसमें जितनी भी अरेंजमेंट थी, जो भी काम किया, उन्होंने अकेले उसका क्रेडिट नहीं लिया। यूजुअली मैं लोगों को क्या देखती हूँ, एक चीज देखती हूँ कि ना वो कहते हैं कि सारा क्रेडिट खुद पर ले लिया, और अगर कोई गलती हो गई ना तो वो दूसरे पर निकाल दिया।
ऐसे ही है।
उनकी सर्विलेंस में अगर कोई बंदा गलत काम भी कर रहा था, उन्होंने उसको भी पॉइंट आउट किया, और जो भी एक्शन लिया गया, जो भी चीज थी, वो एक अलग बात है। बट मैं ये बात करती हूँ कि ये भी एक भड़कपन की निशानी होती है कि आप किस तरीके से चीजों को सेटल करते हो। फिर पावर का इस्तेमाल करना, मुझे लगता है कि पावर जो है ना वो बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है कि आप पावर को किस तरीके से लेते हो। पावर को वाकई में सर पे नहीं चढ़ने देना चाहिए। और ऐसे मौसम के मतलब पावर जब लोगों के हाथों में आती तो क्या मतलब,
देखें पावर जो है ना वो एक ना, मैं आपको मुहावरा तो कहते हैं कि जो होती है ना पावर, यानी कि पॉलिटिक्स की खास तौर पर पावर जो होती है वो एक ऐसी छड़ी है कि रातों रात जो है ना आपकी किस्मत बदल भी सकती है, और आप इसे जिस तरह घुमाना चाहें ये उस तरह घूम भी सकती है। ये आप पे डिपेंड करता है कि आप पावर को एक पॉजिटिव वे में इस्तेमाल करेंगे, पावर को एक नेगेटिव वे में इस्तेमाल करें। आप दोनों तरीकों से इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं, लोगों की भलाई के लिए भी इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं, लोगों के बुरे के लिए भी इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। लेकिन जब आप लोगों की भलाई के लिए, अपने लोगों के लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं, तो एक वो आपका नाम जो है ना वो हिस्ट्री में हमेशा लिखा जाता है। जैसे कि अगर मैं बात करूं चाणक्य जी की बात की जाए, तो अगर उनकी अगर देखा जाए जो बुक है अर्थशास्त्र, उसकी अगर बात की जाए तो वो उसमें देखिए हर चीज के बारे में डिस्कशन की गई है। उन्होंने जो उस टाइम पॉलिसीज, उस टाइम जो एक जियोपॉलिटिक्स, हर चीज के बारे में डिस्कस किया। तो क्या है, एक सुनहरी हरूफ में उनका नाम लिखा हुआ है।
वैसे मैं यहाँ पर बताती चलो, मौसम आजकल ढूंढ रहा है अर्थशास्त्र,
लेकिन मिली नहीं,
यहाँ पर मिल जाए, जब मिल जाएगी मौसम।
मैं गया था पता करने, लेकिन जो है वो खत्म हुई थी।
एग्जैक्टली। और एक चीज मुझे बड़ी अच्छी लगी, अब आई डोंट नो ये चाणक्य जी ने कहा था, लेकिन मुझे ऐसा लगता है मैंने पहले भी ये लाइन कहीं पर सुनी थी कि आपको जब आप मतलब पावर खत्म, आपको सरेंडर करना भी आना चाहिए। मतलब ये नहीं कि अगर पावर है तो उसी का ग्रीड आपको रहे हमेशा। ये चीजें बड़ी बैलेंस करने वाली होती हैं लाइफ में। और हकीकत है हम लोग ज्यादातर पॉलिटिशियंस की ना हम कहेंगे कि हाँ नहीं, ग्रीड तो एक अलग बात है, लेकिन हम कभी उनकी वो जो अच्छी साइड है वो हम लोग थोड़ा कम देखते हैं, और जो उनकी बुरी साइड होती है उसको ज्यादा हाईलाइट करते हैं। बट फिर मैं ये बात बोलती हूँ कि अगर अच्छी साइड थोड़ी ज्यादा हो ना, तो फिर भी लोग थोड़ा ज्यादा सपोर्ट करना शुरू हो जाते हैं। बट प्रॉब्लम ये होती है कि हम लोगों को, मैं यहाँ की अगर बात करूँ, तो आपको काम भी नजर आना चाहिए, तब आज जाकर उसको मैं कहूंगी कि आप तरक्की करते हो। और देखो कि अभी उस चीज का इन्फ्लुएंस जो है वो पूरी दुनिया में नजर आता है जब आप काम अच्छा करते हो, उसको ग्लोबल लेवल पर लेकर जाते हो। जैसे बीच में योग की बात हम करें, योग से जब योगा वो पहले बना तो लोगों को पता चलना शुरू हो गया, बट ये कि जो बेसिक चीजें हैं जहां से वो स्टार्ट हुआ वो लोगों को अब डिलीवर करना, वो भी लोगों की एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बनती है। तो आई थिंक बहुत सारे ऐसे फैक्टर्स बनते हैं जो कि साथ मिलकर चीजों को सही करते हैं। वेल, अभी सेकंड पार्ट इसका हम कल देखेंगे। बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग मुझे वीडियो लगी है। आपको कुछ ना कुछ जरूर सीखने को मिलता है, आपको नॉलेज मिलता है कि आप चीजों को किस एंगल से सोचें समझें। और जब प्रैक्टिकली ये चीजें होती हैं, आप कोई न्यूज देखते हो ना, तो फिर आपको आइडिया होता है, आप थोड़ा सा सोच रहे होते हैं कि हमने ये चीज यहाँ पर देखी और पढ़ी थी। एनीवे गाइस, आपका क्या कहना है इसके बारे में जरूर बताइए कमेंट सेक्शन में। इसी के साथ हमें वीडियो
लाइक, सब्सक्राइब, शेयर। गुड बाय।